Welcome back to the Joyride. This time we have the Mindcraft by Thomson and Kelly Slater. You might remember this board or a version of this board from Mikey February's East. It didn't quite make the final, but Mikey did look really good on it. And it was pretty interesting actually to hear Kelly and Thomson's thoughts on this board in East.
Well, that's where that design really comes to life, is that V. It really controls your speed so well and allows the rail to like tip over and engage without having too much lift.
More feel on each half or something.
Yeah, it's almost like splitting the board into two and kind of like...
Definitely cool. It's almost like you're just riding half a board.
Since then, they've actually refined a few of the features for the commercial model. So obviously you have now a rounded nose, a little bit more easy on the eyes, but it still has this little hip down here, and it still has a whole lot of V through the bottom. So the way that they make this board kind of feel like a short board, even though it looks more like a little rounded skateboard thing, is they have these really straight rails. They basically fit as much rail line as possible into the shortest outline. That's the idea. They want to ride this board in good waves. They want to do really high level surfing on it. So we're going to try to see if that actually happens. Surf churro, very important. All right, so thinking back to the morning, when I was on the quad, first of all, incredibly fast, really drivey, immediately get up and go, like first pump, really good speed, incredible off the bottom as well, like just so much squirt, I guess you could say. And I think that that comes down to that V that we were talking about, where it really just tips the board over so much faster than I'm used to. And I felt that getting up into the lip was really, really easy. However, on the quad, getting out of the lip wasn't as easy. I remember one wave in particular where I tried to just do like a little check snap to keep speed down the line, and the fins just stuck and my foot flew off the back of the board. Just a turn that would have normally on a thruster, it would have just kind of like clicked and you keep going. With the quad, because there's those extra fins, they kind of get stuck when you try to just do the quick flat pivot on them. So I did my best with that, but I switched them to the thrusters with the idea of being able to go in and out of the lip, kind of more vertical. We did get some good waves in the afternoon, and one in particular actually stood up for me and allowed me to do 2 snaps off the lip. And that to me felt like, okay, if you're gonna ride this board as a thruster, that's kind of the type of surfing it wants to do, is just up and down, quick, decisive. I feel like most surfboards, you're kind of thinking of surfing like front and back, like your front and back foot control where the weight distribution is and how you're gonna move across a wave. With this board, it feels like it's all toes and heels. And I think again, that comes back to the V. It really needs to be on one rail or the other. So let's find the right waves and see if we can make it work. This sucks. The waves are pumping. I thought it was going to be like perfect conditions for this board. Pretty much second wave, I paddled for this one and I couldn't quite get over the ledge, and I tried to like bail out of it and just basically cooped it. Board went over the falls and I didn't notice it at first, but I guess it just completely creased. This thing's on hold for now. I got to get it fixed up, but I know a good digging guy, so we'll get it back in working order, get it back in the water and finish this Joyride. nice to finally validate the feelings that I was having about this board. I knew it felt really good under my feet. I felt like we kept getting super unlucky with waves. Like it would either turn on shore, or it would be really fat and flat, or I would break the board when we finally did get good waves. Which, by the way, shout out to House of Somos and my boy Vincent for fixing this thing. Incredible ding repair. It feels like new. Like I could not tell the difference between when I first got it and now. When you look at something like East, when Mikey February, the winning board was snapped in half and fixed again. So I don't know, I think we're having a bit of a movement, the broken board movement. Boards aren't dead when you break them, just fix them, put them back together, and they can be good as new. That being said, we finally got some fun, clean waves to ride this thing on, and I feel like I got to feel at least some of this board's potential. Off the bat, I already said it, but the speed that this thing gets just out of the takeoff is incredible. Like, these waves that we found were pretty fast, but I felt like the board was even faster, to the point where even sometimes I had to like kill speed so that I didn't go too far ahead of the section and I could actually find the part of the wave that I wanted to do a turn on. But the good news is that with all that speed it generates, it still holds. Like, you can still put everything you can into a turn. It's not like one of those boards that, you know, like a really flat fish or something where you get going really fast, but then you're kind of just like, oh, what do I do? This board, because of that V, you can really just turn it over really sharp and really fast. That's kind of all this board wants to do, is just go fast and turn hard. And despite having all that acceleration, I feel like it carries a lot of momentum. Like, it really impressed me when we were surfing that kind of fat offshore wave, how much speed it carried, even through the flat sections. I don't know, you would typically expect an EPS to be kind of on top of the water and really get caught up in the wind and slow down a bunch, but this board kind of just plowed straight through it, which I found really impressive. I ended up riding the board again as both a thruster and a quad. Kind of like what I thought before. I feel like the thruster worked a lot better when there were really quick, tight transitions where the board had to get up and down super fast. Quad felt really nice on an open face, but I didn't get too many of those. So for me, I think that the thruster was kind of the superior option, but I could see this board also working like incredibly well as a quad, and I had some moments where I really felt that. The one thing that I really struggled with this board were airs. Granted, I'm not great at airs, but I typically can land a couple if I try a few, and I just couldn't really get it to like stick with me. And I think probably because it isn't super flat, like it just kind of like tilts to one side. So if you're looking to do airs, this may not be the best board for that, but I think most of us are probably just trying to look for how a board feels on the open face, and this one kind of ticks all those boxes. In the end, this board, I honestly couldn't speak more highly of it. It is so much fun. It's so fast. You feel like you can do some of the like quickest and best turns on it. I think a board like this should be in everyone's quiver. It's like you get the benefits of a high performance board, but then you also get the benefits of kind of like a quick little EPS groveler. It's kind of all things in one. So for me, this is the type of board that I would ride kind of whenever the waves are fun. Slater and Tomo, we've done it again. The Mindcraft, the Mind Freak, Mind Portal, Mind Fuck. It's a great surfboard.